Hey, do you like that? A bit of Mission Impossible, isn't it?
Right, I'm feeling all secret squirrel now.
That's right. Well, tonight we need no introduction. We got Yorkshire Deb is next to me, and we got Survivalist Dave with his heater that we haven't got a name for. So we're going to ask everybody in chat to give it a name. Now, I came up with Hot Gossip, and that was from Benny, wasn't it? Hot Gossip.
And I said Hot Chimney.
You said Hot Chimney, but we've got to get a nice snazzy name. So here we go. And now, first of all, we got some call-outs to do. This is really exciting tonight. And the first call-out is, now, do you remember the Crystal Lady, Hayley?
Yes.
Well, she was single when she did the show. Now she's married.
Is she?
Blimey.
Answer that, Dave.
And the Crystal Lady is no, she's marrying to Adi today, and it's been all right for her. It hasn't been that sunny, but it's been nice. And I got an invite to the thing tonight, but I'm a miserable sod, so I didn't go. Actually, I have a bit of a miserable sod. I'm not really one for parties and that, but it's ever so kind. I gave me the invite, but I didn't. Yeah. I thought I want to see my mates. It's a bit difficult. Do I see my mates here or do I see my mates there? This one. Yeah. And we'd also like to say thank you to Hayley and Bob Hollyoak for buying a coffee for us. So thank you very much. And remember, it saves Deb, John, and myself playing the old mouth organ outside the
tiny little fiddle.
Have we still got the dog on a bit of string? Yeah, do a little bit of tap dancing and that. And they're very nice, Tesco's. They come out and say, "Shut off," But so if you want to buy us a coffee, it's down there. No, not on my crutch, but it's below where it says all the details there. Now on the right, we see they're doing some tests of the heater that we haven't got a name for yet. And before we go any further, it's the local elections soon, and I've got one of these through my letterbox. A couple of years ago, there was excuse Dave, he's doing some experiments here with his heater, so we're just ignoring for a moment. And about 4 or 5 years ago, when they had the other erections, or whatever they call them, I was out the front garden pruning my roses, and as these geezers walking around with the old rosettes, I thought, here it comes. But they weren't knocking on any doors, they're just putting leaflets through the letterboxes.
Yeah, they don't knock on doors now.
So the one puts a leaflet through my letterbox. I said, afternoon or morning or whatever time it was, hello, just walks off, When I went in, it said, "Sorry you were out when we called." So they started live before they'd even been elected. But it's very democratic where I live, you see, because the only one is going up. You're going to vote for one, and that's it. So, as I've often said before, I've got no time for bloody. I don't vote or anything like that. But this is if you want a good laugh, look at this one. This is a classic. It says here 6. Now, isn't it funny? It's always 6 good reasons to vote. Yeah.
Because they've got the page nicely, you see. You can get 2 good reasons on each page. There, you've got 3 great pages.
And it says here, now they said they're tackling climate change. Well, I'll be a bit bleeding worried if it didn't change the climate, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, just
we're changing our climate in here with this heater, I can assure you.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Shall I stop waffling and go back to this later? Because you're going to be...
It's toasting John.
Toasting him. Right. About this, but we come up to it a bit later. Shall we go into chat or shall we go over to your heater? What do you want to do?
Can we go into the heater next, please?
Right. Okay, onto the heater because he's lit up some time ago. So over to you, Dave.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to use my phone for this, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the box on tech, so this is why you can't see me, but you can see the heater, which is probably a bonus, to be fair. Right. You can see the heater in action here. If I take the camera round to the front.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes.
Right, and I can't really hold it that close because it's a bit too hot, so I'll go back a bit. This is about where it's comfortable here.
Yeah.
About here. So, probably a good 3 foot in front of the heater to be comfortable with your hand.
Yeah.
This is with one burner. I was going to showcase the 2 burner setup. Here's the spare burner. But I've decided that the research and development cooperation that I had with somebody who's actually bought a couple of them today and yesterday has yielded a phenomenal heat output increase. I'm zooming in now so you can see that there's actually a £1 coin underneath the front of the heater base. This allows, you can see the smiley shape where the flame is inside. That's allowing a small amount of air in. It's sucking air in by force due to the fan blowing across with the heat rising. And you can actually see them flames, right? It's only a small transient burner, which is about this high, and the flames are well over a foot tall because of this effect. It's called a Venturi vortex effect, and that's what the heater's based on.
Right.
And the I'm a bit worried about it harming my phone with it being this hot here, so I'll just move to the side.
Bloody hell, that's hot, isn't it?
I'll film it from the back end, so you can see the fan there, blowing along and dragging them flames right up.
John will be stripping off in a minute.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tight. That's gonna cost money. Right, this angle here is tweakable. You tilt it and you tilt this via the joint here. You can tilt it backwards or forwards, or left or right, really. But you've got mainly just to fine tune the airflow via the angle. I'm finding it better tilted slightly down at the front end here, where my hand is, but only slightly. And this angle here is about 60 degrees, and as you can see, it's about an inch or two behind the actual intake of the heater, and it's really heating this room up massively. Now, I have done some research and development with the 2 burner setup, which means you'd have to have 2 burners inside here side by side.
Yeah.
Now, I have sent messages to those who've bought the heaters advising that if they're going to use the 2 burner setup, in fact, I recommend this with the 1 burner setup. You want one of these pound shop baking trays just for safety, right? Better to be too safe than not safe enough.
Definitely.
Right. Now, these, when they're side by side in there, there's no gap between them.
Right.
So you can't put one out with the lid with the ordinary snuffer like you usually do, like this. You can't put one out because as soon as you take the lid off, the other one relights it.
Oh, of course,
so unless you're deft at putting 2 lids on at the same time and you're confident with that, amongst a load of big tall flames, I'd let them just burn out of fuel, then allow a short cooling time before you relight them.
Yeah.
But I think the double burner feature on them is only really if you want to heat a large room up very quickly, because I mean, as we speak here, we've only got 1 burner going, and this is probably it's putting out twice as much heat as a 2 kilowatt electric blower.
Right.
So it's about 3 or 4 kilowatt coming out of there now. Brilliant. And as you know, the electric blowers, which you can see in the background, just between the fan and the heater there in the background, one of them costs a fortune to run now. Yeah. Right, and it's going to cost a lot more than that to run in October. The heat that's coming out of here now is staggering. As the flame blooms and gets more around all the jets, Chris knows a great deal about stove jets because he makes his own ones of these out of pop cans and things, so he's kind of an expert. Yeah. But as it fills this jetting system up, it gets hotter and hotter as it burns. Yeah. And this is now. It's now really. I mean, you can't hold your hand close to it for very long.
No.
You know, it's that kind of heat. Now, if you had 2 burners in here, I've tested it with 2 burners, and it's like there's got to be 7 kilowatts coming out the front. It's absolutely beyond belief. It's like a jet engine.
Yeah.
And you obviously double the speed of the fan for 2 burners, and then it fills your whole room up with really hot air in a very short time. And the people who bought these heaters are very pleased with them. And the guy who'd like to remain anonymous, I said to him, I'm going to give you full credit for the pound coin mod that's allowed a better airflow into here, so you're not just relying upon the forced airflow here. Yeah. You've got a good vortex effect going on because of this intake here. Now, his original idea, to be fair, involved £3 coins. Yeah. But I found that I heard a roaring sound with the £3 coins here. And if you hear a roaring sound out of an alcohol stove, it's inefficient burning, inefficient combustion, and a lot less heat output. So I've run a load of tests, and I found that just £1 coin makes it absolutely perfect, and the heat coming out of here is staggering. It's got to be 25 degrees in here now. Yeah. And that's John's moaning because he's roasting his head off, and he's about what are you, 8 foot away from it? John's 8 foot away from it, and he's not sat in front of it. He's sat on the side of it. Yeah. He's on the sofa, and it's aiming at the empty sofa seat. So it's really blasting the heat out into this room. Brilliant. So I'm very, very pleased with the performance, and particularly grateful to the guy who bought 2 of them and then did a load of research and development with the half moon covering. He had an idea where half moon covered this side here. Right. And I found that it's mainly this mod here that increased the heat output massively. Right. So I've chosen not to have any extra complication at this end and just rely on this, and have the air vortex adjustment just by either tilting the fan or, you know, changing the height of this. You know, you can move it down there like I've just moved it a bit, and the output varies on that. You know, if you move it down a bit there, so you've tilted it that way. Yeah. You can obviously, it changes the direction of the hot airflow. It's aiming upwards more now, only by a few degrees, but it all makes a massive difference inside this combustion chamber. Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. You know, a slight angular change here makes a huge difference. So, you know, like I said, everybody who's bought one has got my phone number, so I can advise them on the fine-tuning of this to get the amount of heat out of it as big as possible. But this is huge. I'm burning my hand now. I can't put my hand there now. I can only hold it there for a few seconds. That's hot air. Excellent. And it's a massive success for heating rooms up. Yeah. And it may with the price of the stove bioethanol, which I've got here. Yeah. It's gone up £4 for 12 bottles this week. Now I don't think it's going to go up stratospherically like the gas and electric is. Yeah. Now at the moment, this kind of draws with for the heat output, it draws with an efficient gas miser. You know, a gas fire, a really good gas fire. It costs about the same to run. Right. But I do think that it blows a lot of heat out, and you can direct it better than you can with a gas fire. So there's pros and cons to that. But in October, when that gas fire is going to cost 4 times as much to run, this is going to be a winner. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's when it's going to come into its own. Yeah. And obviously, because there's no actual flame coming out the top here, right? Anybody who might be a camper or a caravaner can happily use this in a largish tent or a caravan. And because it produces no carbon monoxide and needs no venting, obviously you need a bit of ventilation, you know, because otherwise it'll just burn all the oxygen up, but it's not going to produce any toxic fumes. Oh. And this will eat a caravan up in, I mean, you'd only have to have it on 5 minutes if you was in a caravan. Yeah. And it'd be like 30 or 35 degrees. Toasty. We might have to extinguish it soon because John's complaining because it's too hot. It's climbing over 25 degrees in here now. Oh, and we've only had it on like 10 minutes, if that. Yeah. So,
we've been. It's going for a long time because you started it up about 5 minutes before the program.
It's still good. Now it does burn out. I've not fully filled the stove up, and the stove fuel does burn out because, as you can see, it's a. I mean, there's not a big reservoir in there. It's a, it's not a big thing.
Time, I mean, that would be enough.
But it has ran a long time, and more to the point, the amount of time it's been running versus the gigantic amount of heat that's coming out is a phenomenal win.
Yeah.
It really is a staggeringly good design. But again, credit to that guy who bought 2 of them, who wishes to remain nameless, for suggesting a coin under here. Well, he suggested 3. I've improved that mod by doing some more testing. As I've explained, £1 coin under the front does the job. This is starting to burn out now. It's going cooler. So the fuel that I put in is actually gonna go out in a minute, and John will be relieved. But
that's not bad because we started off. It's 16 minutes now, and you started off about 5 minutes before we started.
But that's only like just over half full was that one.
Right.
So
half full. It's gone for almost half an hour. That is not.
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Now I'll because I can still feel heat coming out of it, even though I'm pretty. The flame has gone out, but there's still heat coming out the front of here because there's a lot of latent heat that's gone in to this metal, and particularly this portion here where my hand is.
Yeah.
You can't touch that under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Because it's really hot. But the beauty of it is this fan is still pulling air in through here, up through the hot portion, and it's still blowing warm air out the front. But it's not hot air, it's warm. And because it's not as hot, if you look where my hand is, it's near the bottom edge of the front. This is where the heat is. The top edge is cool, room temperature air.
Yeah.
But because we're only dealing with the stored latent heat in the metal, you're still getting a good value heat out of there, even though there's no flame going. But it will diminish in a couple of minutes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Can we have a safety thing though, Dave? Because I remember I think for new viewers might look at that and think, "Oh, I'll go down the road and get some." Was it galvanized?
No, it's massively important. I have to do quite.
It's got to be stainless steel. It
doesn't have to be stainless steel. It can be. It can be mild steel stovepipe, which is a lot more money than this to buy. So this is the cheapest safe option that you can get. And I'll just turn this heater off. I've turned the fan off now because it's still too hot to touch, but there's no hot air coming out the front now, so I'll just leave that to cool.
Yeah.
From a safety point of view, you might see these T-bars and the coupler here and the reducer at the bottom. You might see them for not much money, maybe 20 or 30 quid, right? Yeah. But they'll be galvanized steel, and that's massively dangerous for high heat applications because when the zinc gets hot, it can vaporize into the atmosphere, and the fumes are absolutely deadly. They're not just dangerous; you will kill yourself.
Yeah.
And it's really important that because I did a lot of safety design work to put this together, and you'll see these joints here, right? When these arrive from the fabricator, right? These are all caked with silicone sealant, like you get on fish tanks. Yeah. And I've had to physically dig with a spike and a blowtorch all the sealant out of these joints to make them safe for people. So there's quite a lot of work to be done to this when it arrives before I can send it out to people. And if you look inside, you'll see loads of spot welds that's holding this construction together. Yeah. This is not a cheaply made item. It's very robust. It's all welded.
Yeah.
But because it's not an airtight joint, the fabricators run silicone over here to make it into an airtight joint. Now, I have specified on recent orders that I want them supplying without that silicone, but I'm not sure what's happening at that end because I've had to spend like 5 hours, 6 hours digging all the sealant out of there to make it safe. And not just that, this seam along the top that also had it in on the inside. So you can imagine how awkward that is to try and get out.
Definitely.
But I would have rather, I've chosen to spend all that time doing the safety assurance work on these parts.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, somebody risk having toxic black smoke from silicone in their house.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not as simple as it might look.
I understand.
There's a lot to think about with these things. If you're going to run a heating appliance in your house, it's got to be safe.
Yeah, it has.
I've made it safe. I've put all the work in to make it safe. So that's what I've done. And that's about, you know, that's how it is.
It's brilliant, Dave. And what I was going to say is, shall we say the fuel? Now, I bought some fuel. I bought the fuel before I bought the heater. And you got it off of Amazon. I got mine off of eBay. Mine was, I can't remember how much mine was.
It's $34.99 for 12 litres.
Right.
$34.99. So 35 quid for, was it 12 litres?
12 1 litre bottles.
And that would last you, if you used it.
Well, this is a bit of a moot point, because it depends on how warm your room is in your house, what kind of energy performance rating your house has got, how it holds the heat in your house. It even depends on what the atmospherics are outside, to how much heat you get out per ounce of fuel. Now, a few people have said, oh, how long does it last, and how much does it warm your room, and how long for a cupful or for 100 mil? Now, this is a question that's not answerable. It works, it's efficient, it's very hot, and it runs off grid because this fan can be charged up via solar panel. Right? So you're not reliant upon these thieving utility companies to heat a room.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point of making it, is to help people. To help people get out of the clutches of these thieving scumbags that are running the utility firms, right? And this does it easily, and it does it as cheaply as I can possibly do it, you know, and that's how it is.
And also, not only that, that fuel is very cheap when you think about it. And I live in a centrally heated house. I'm on my own, and when I put the central heating on, it heats the rooms up. Well, I'm not in. Because
that's still too hot to touch that. You can't touch that still.
That is brilliant. This would be perfect. The other thing is the fuel that you use. You don't have to worry about carbon monoxide poisoning, do you?
That's correct. That's right. This is recommended for indoor stoves without flues. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend any other sort of fuel. If anybody starts thinking they can put purple meths in this, right, or just light some firelighters or something like that inside it, that'll be probably a fatal mistake.
Yeah.
Right? You will kill yourself. It's very important that you get clean bioethanol, right? Bioethanol liquid fuel.
Yeah.
There it is, look. Suitable for home stoves. Suitable for ethanol fireplaces. See? So it's meant to be burnt indoors. That's critical.
Now, we get it from, and I'm just going to put it on the bottom there. It's advertised on John's website. It's falsificationofhistory.co.uk. There it is. And you did say the cost the other week, Dave?
It's now gone up to 35 quid for 12 litres. I bought these at 31.99.
I bought mine for around about that price.
Yeah.
Did you say we've sent you one of these heaters?
No.
You bought one?
Not yet. I'm going to buy one. But I've actually bought the fuel first. So I've done, excuse my language, ass about face. Normally people buy a heater, then the fuel. I bought the fuel, then the heater, because
my view is if you're gonna buy into something like this heater, I'd suggest hoarding tons of this.
Yes. Yeah.
You want tons of it, because you never know how long this extortion and larceny by the utility company is gonna continue for.
I agree with you, and it's already gone up.
They could switch the whole grid off just so they can try and blame Russia for a cyber attack. Anything could happen. These people know no bounds.
Oh, I agree with you.
So that's why I've tried to make it a simple off-grid solution for people.
Yeah. Can I just ask you about the fan? Because when we first started discussing it and you first started showing it, the fan was like up at the end of the tube, the metal tube. Now you've got it.
It was, but we've got some revised images on John's website with this 60-degree slant, which is critical.
Right.
Right. It moves. You can move it about like that.
Yeah.
And you just get it, and you use it as part of the fine tuning process to get the angle between the fan and the end of ear right. And you fine tune it by tilting this forward or back.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll just point out that with this application, with the pound coin that we've got at the front to create an air gap here, if I can get the top off this, which I've successfully done, you'll note that the burner, right, is closer to the back end, the fan end, than it is to the front. It's not in the middle. Now, if we was to use two burners, right, I'll just see how what that is. It's kind of touchable. If we were to use two burners, you'd have them side by side laterally like that.
Right, in the middle.
Right? So then it kind of blends into one big flame. And these want to be slightly off centre towards the fan, because then you get the flame coming up at this end of the up pipe, and then it helps the air get hold of all the heat and push it down this pipe.
Yeah.
Whereas if these was nearer the front, the air would be pushing it into this wall here instead of this area.
Right, yeah.
Because, you know, it does seem simple when you look at it, but there's a lot of research and development gone into this. So now, I'm very happy with it. In fact, I love it.
Now, how much are the heaters, Dave?
Sorry?
How much are the heaters? People want to buy. I've got to where you can get them.
Yeah,
from.
you get the fan, you get the heater, the whole heater, all three parts. They're all custom fabricated for our purposes, and you get the burner, which is obviously you've seen the burner. You get a burner, you get the fan, which is solar rechargeable and phone charger rechargeable. You can charge it up with a phone.
Yeah.
And you get one of these burners, and the whole entire thing. I can't remember how much they are. Are they 160, John?
Oh, sorry.
The whole thing with the burner and the fan, the kit. 163, including postage and packing.
Right.
How does it? 163, including postage and packing. Obviously, in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, but obviously you have to supply your own bricks and your own pound shop baking tray. But I don't think that's a big deal. And also, you know, you've got to supply a pound as well, or a couple of washers, or anything the same thickness.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So we tried to keep it as basic as possible, so that we haven't got big expense going on to have them made.
Yeah.
Well, we've also got. If you need to contact John, there's his email address. jch120752@gmail.com. Now, shall we have a quick whiz into chat, everybody? All right, Dave? All right, mate?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Oh,
I can't see the chat because I'm on my phone.
Don't worry.
So you'll have to...
Now, we had a few people queuing up before the program started. So we got Bob Hollyoak from the independent state of Rugby in the United Kingdom. And... who, as I say, kindly bought us a coffee. And then we've got...
I'm going to try pressing this chat icon and see if I can see what people are saying. So if I disappear, I'll endeavour to return.
All right.
We got John Basilone. I think you're in Alabama, aren't you? Alabama. That's an Englishman trying to do an American accent badly.
Oh, Chris, leave it.
Yeah, go back to my day job. Standing by for another interesting topic. Thank you very much. And it's a bit like Dick Van Dyke doing hello, Mary Poppins.
That was the worst English accent ever.
I know. It's terrible. It's like Michael Caine.
I can see the chat now.
Oh, brilliant. Good evening, all. That's Sue Rue. We've got Kat Oldsworth. Evening all. Hope everyone's okay. And you've got Bob saying hello, hi everybody, and we got Louise. Oh, we got loads of people here. Got some new people as well. We've got Philip Atkinson. Evening all. And then we've got Louise Wilcox. Dave's heater's name, Simply Small Huge on heats. Hang on. Simply small.
Huge on heat, small on costs.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, he hasn't got a name. I haven't got a name for it. There's Aunt Sally's in the chat. She's one of the people who bought one.
Yeah, she said
she's received it last week, but hasn't took it out the box yet because it's not been cold enough.
No,
I'd highly recommend firing the burner up and letting it burn a half full of fuel until it burns out. To burn the because they're brand new burners. You see, they need to be burned in.
Yeah.
And also before it does get cold, I recommend that you. I'm speaking to Aunt Sally here. I recommend that you practice fine tuning it to get the maximum amount of heat out of it, as I was demonstrating earlier on. Because even though it's not cold enough to use it yet, you want to be able to operate it before you need to.
Right.
Okay, I agree with you. You need to practice. Then we got here Joe Weeks. Evening all.
Hi Joe.
Hi Joe. And then we got. Oh, I like this one. Engelbert Humperdinck. John's going to be a different colour.
Yeah, bright red in the background.
Was it rose chestnuts by open?
Can you still see my camera? What can you see now?
The burner.
The heater and your feet. Your very nice feet there, Dave.
Thanks for that. Yeah. So I can't see what they can see now because I've got the chat on.
Yeah. And you've got your Swiss Army knife and a pound shop. What do you call it? Then we got here,
baking tray.
There's the fan.
That's it. So Louise Wilcox is talking about these marvellous pamphlets, which I don't know whether to wipe my bum on it or use it for cat litter, but I ain't got a cat, but here it is, when we go back to, do you want a bit here full of bullshit? Because I'm going to read some of it out later on. So got here. Those pamphlets don't even get left in my post box. No junk mail here, thanks. That's right. We got Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Salisbury. Good evening, everyone. Yes, that's the lady. I'd almost stand on my roof and go, hello. She's around the corner at me. And, it's about a couple of miles.
Yeah.
Paul Green.
Crow flies.
As hot as a politician talking.
Yeah.
Well, I actually went into Kazi a couple of years ago, and someone's put a sign where where you wipe your hands with the hot dryers. It says, press button for a 30-second speech by Tony Blair.
I've seen that.
Then we got where we got here. We've got Joe Weeks saying hello, Debs, Chris, and Dave. That's nice. Hi Joe. Oh, well, that's good, right? Oh, here's Aunt Sally. Hello, Aunt Sally. Oh, by the way, you said you wanted to have a spank last week because you was late. All the blokes, we'll see you in Miles's shop, and all the fellas all having a queue, give you
like a kissing booth, but different.
I have bought one, received last week, but I haven't taken it out of the box yet. It's not been cold enough.
No, it's been too mild, and it to strike a fire up.
Yeah. Was it? There's a good one. They can shove your gas bill up your arse heat.
There you go. That's a new name for it.
There, Engelbert Humperdinck. That's a good. They can shove their gas bills up their arse heater.
You shove your gas bill up your arse heater. Yeah.
What about another one here? Pocket rocket heater.
Well, it's not really pocket size though, is it? You'd have to have big bloody pockets.
And Engelbert Humperdinck. Might be an idea to try it and box it off somehow, just to make it not overproof and movable. Well, I was going to make a wooden apparatus underneath it, where it's obviously cool, it's not hot. Something to hold the fan up.
That's on 2 bricks here. Yeah, we've got this on two bricks from a building firm, and it's the perfect height for the fan.
Yeah. So Wix. Or if you're in America, was it Home Depot or Depot?
Home Depot.
Yeah. Home Depot.
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight. Sebastian Moran. That looks great. It does, doesn't it? hang on, we've got another one here. Joe Wicks.
Chimaroo.
Chimaroo.
Chimaroo. I like that.
I got my chimaroo out, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Right, we've got here Michelle Salisbury. Good evening again to Chris, Deb, and Dave. Good evening, everyone. I had to restart my device, hence the lateness.
I had to knock that off earlier.
Right, join Aunt Sally at Miles's shop, and we'll give you a good spanking for that. You know.
Staying out of that, I'm going to live up north.
Right, we got here. I beg your pardon. My 16160 super rig pays me to heat to warm. Hey, my 16160 super rig pays me to heat to warm.
No, I don't get that.
Okay. Right, we've got another one here. What we got here? Just stating a mining rig gave out enough heat to pay for itself and profit.
Okay.
Yes, well, that is fairly
Engelbert Umperdonk was saying maybe it'd be a good idea to box it off somehow to make it movable and knock-over proof. Now, it is very, very stable.
Yeah.
It's very stable. It's very hard to knock over. Yeah. And as you can see, you can move it with minimal effort on the flat tray that it's on. I wouldn't like to make it into a box-shaped item, because as it is, you could fit it between things, or you could aim it through a window or aim it through a doorway, because it's got a thing. And there's nothing to stop anybody extending this pipe and that pipe. You know, it is open to improvisation at your own risk.
Won't that make it cooler though, Dave? If you've got a longer pipe, the heat won't be.
Well, not necessarily. I haven't actually done that. When I was sending people's heaters off, I did think about getting one of these couplers and sticking it on the end of here, and then getting a whole new one and having one burner in one burner in another, and then have a 2.5 foot further long pipe to have a much bigger thing and turn the fan up to full, maybe, or something like that. But with that we've got out of this rig as it is, I just think it's just a waste of time, because it performs fantastically as it is. It's just I'm just over the moon with it.
20 minutes for what? Did it get up to 25 degrees plus?
Oh yeah, it's still too hot in here.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. And also, I'm designing something like a foldable trolley, so you could put it away in the summer, that you open out, that's on trolleys, on wheels, so you could wheel it around your room. So you say, all right, I'll put it over there, I'll put it over there. And this is what I'm designing at the moment.
Right.
Something like that, because you want to put it away in the summer. You won't be using it that much in the summer, obviously. But something where it folds up, and then you've got like 4 casters at the bottom that you can wheel it around with.
What for this? You mean putting this on wheels? Yeah. Well, it hardly weighs anything. You can just
take it to bits.
It just comes apart. You know what I mean? It's modular.
Right, bin that idea.
I've made it highly portable as it is.
Right, and then we got here. Was it? It says here, just arrived decorating room.
Oh, God, you can come and do mine when you've done that.
Well, that's good, isn't it? You know, and now we got here. What was it? Michelle Salisbury says, clever idea of Dave's, and it bypasses the greedy utility companies.
Yeah, that was my original intention. It was to give people an option, because they've got this evil strategy where people might be on a token meter for their electric or gas, and they've tried to pretend they care about people by saying, "Oh, we're not allowed to switch off a domestic supply because that would be amoral." In reality, what they do is you switch yourself off, because if you use your emergency credit up and then you can't put it on for 3 days, the standing charge is still piling up, and the fee for going overdrawn on it is still piling up. So when you eventually get paid, whether you get paid from a once a month salary or a once a week wage or whatever it is, right? When you put 10 quid on your meter after you've done this, you end up paying £8 on the debt, and it gives you £2 worth of gas or electric.
Square one.
So they're causing people to disconnect themselves from the capability of heating the room to a livable standard. And this is why I was inspired to try and help by inventing this. I ain't invented the concept, but I've invented a safe one. Because the other people who've done things like this, it's clearly not safe. And
I really do believe you're going to save lives, because elderly people on their own. Because what I like about it, I like this idea where you've bought something, a fuel, so you know how much you've spent, you know how much you've got.
That's right.
Bastard saying this, that, because what's annoyed me is this standard charge. You can't avoid it now. Now, a couple of years ago,
well, you can. Utility don't have a standing charge.
Yeah, but I've tried to get onto there, and there's a waiting list.
Well, there will be, because people don't like standing charge.
No, I don't want to stand in bloody charge. And shove
No.
I'll tell you something else. I'm not joking. Don't get me wrong. But if you want to make a bit of toast, you can put it on a fork and put it in front of it. Couldn't you have some toast at the same time?
Well, I'm absolutely confident that if you run this in the 2-burner configuration and get a toasting fork on the front end of here, it will toast bread.
Yeah.
There's definitely enough heat coming out to toast bread. I'm not sure about on the 1-burner configuration, but on the 2-burner, it definitely will. To be fair, it was a bit scary on the 2-burner thing, because it's like a bit of a flamethrower.
Bit like but Sebastian has come on. Sebastian Moran. Davey's right. The only time it ends is when the population is reduced to 0. Yes. And this is what this twat, sorry, I shouldn't say that. This gentleman has said here. I'll just read this out. This brings me smoothly on to tackling climate change. You see, this is a leaflet from my door. I mean, I don't vote. And this twat has said, we have delivered on our promise to tackle climate change by installing electric vehicle charging points. So they're digging bleeding great holes in Africa. Poor little kids digging holes in to get the lithium from the lithium mines.
The batteries,
batteries, which blow up after a while, across the borough, with even more planned. We're going even further by developing an action plan for the council to achieve net zero carbon emissions. Now, we're carbon, so they're going to do with us, do away with us.
Wipe us out there.
We'll use renewable energy within its buildings to improve both sustainability and efficiency. Well, they're going to have sort of places where if you're going to have a fart, you can sort of blow it into this tube and it all sort of regasses itself. And if you're a vegetarian, you're going to have to pay extra tax, aren't you? Because, you get greenhouse gases and all that. But what I like about this is they're back in their town centres there. So there's a picture here, see, they're back in the town centres. The town centres, they've got parking charges everywhere. Right. Small businesses has closed up.
Yep.
They've gone because they can't afford it. And then you get the bloke posing, here he is, next to an out-of-town shopping
retail park.
And it says, a strong local voice fighting for our community. No, he isn't. That is what has killed the high street.
Yeah.
But let's go into where we got here. We got here Greg Lord. Hello. There are clips on YouTube about how to make 5 gallons of ethanol. Dave should be interested in this, from 20 pounds of sugar plus water. Yeah, I've seen that.
I was about to mention it. I was about to mention that. Yeah, what I intend to do is buy some equipment. I'm looking to find a stove-top distiller to be able to do that, because you have to brew it first of all, and then when you've got it up to a certain percentage of alcohol, which is what this bioethanol is, then you have to distill it to get it 100% pure.
Yeah.
And that will create essentially this, but free.
Alcohol? You think I've been drinking, wouldn't you?
Alcohol.
So we've had a couple of viewers who are very knowledgeable about home-produced bioethanol, and it is doable. And I intend to learn how to do it and maybe at a future date I could show some if we produce it. I don't know. I'll look into how much it costs to get the rig to do it.
Yeah.
Still it yourself, because that's even better. Because quite honestly, I want to stick a 2-finger my attitude to the utility companies is
Yeah, well, it is a brilliant idea up to a point, but what we have to remember is that refined sugar, is imported, and people like Bill Gates and all his oppos and Soros and everyone, they're purposefully blockading tanker ports, and they're having tankers sat there full of consumable items and things, and they could easily block the importation of sugar, which means you haven't really got a chance of making homemade ethanol if they do that. So it is a good idea up to a point if you wanted to make savings in the short term. I'm not sure how much you'd have to use to make it economical compared to buying this for £2.50 a litre.
Yeah,
you know, you'd have to be making a lot to make it get your money back.
Yeah, you would.
That's right. I think we've got a troll in
yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Actually, I never get upset by trolls. I think they're funny.
You've got no better to do.
Well, quite honestly, yeah, being a freelance player.
What is the troll saying? I'll go into the chat and have a look.
Let's not. We'll just ignore it. You
know,
yeah, but anyway, we got here. Thank you, Dave. This is Aunt Sally. We'll do as you said. So that's all right, isn't it? And let's go down a bit more. We got some lots here. Here we go. Hang on. Here she comes. She says, "Do I still need 6 engineering bricks, Dave?" No.
No. We've done
a pound shop. And if you go to Miles's shop, if you down the road there's a pound shop. You probably know where it is. It's quite a good one. It's a big one, and they'll sell those trays. So little bit of, and a pound shop. The check's in the post, isn't it for me?
Yeah. Your royalties.
There we got ooey. That's Michelle Salisbury. Do you feel an advert coming on?
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Let's do a flat Earth. I should get rid of my log burner and get one of those. Well,
I vehemently disagree with that, because a log burner can burn scrap wood out of skips. It can burn dead trees. You're never going to run out of fuel with it. You can even go and collect free coal off Hartlepool Beach.
Yes. If you're living out of Hartlepool, it's not going to be worth it.
Well, yeah, it's worth travelling there if you're going to get, you know, a good few bags of it at a time, even if you don't live there. So I'd always recommend the wood burning stove above any kind of room heater like this. This is for people who can't afford the $5,000 to have one of them put in.
Yeah.
You know, because they're a lot of money to have them fitted and things, aren't they? So
that's right. Now, Engelbert Humperdonk I like that name, Engelbert Humperdonk. Thanks, Engelbert. It's a brilliant name. Has come up with a real good question here. Can you get mini pipe fittings to make a smaller one? Because I need one in the little room that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Well, you can, and we've looked into this, and you can get these fabricated to order of any size that you order. I've done a 6-inch one because it's a 6-inch fan, right? And even though the fan is not lined up to it, if you're running 2 burners, you can line it up to it, and it will blow a proper ton of heat out. And it's always better to have over capacity rather than have something running its head off, because even if it's a smaller diameter tube, right, you're still going to be using the same amount of fuel, because these are the burners. Okay, the burners are small enough to go in a smaller tube, but they don't burn any slower. No. And with this, with this being a complete 6-inch tube set, you're getting the maximum output from the heat of the stove. I've done a lot of work in researching this, and yes, you can get smaller rigs. We could have produced it 4-inch or 3-inch wide, or we could have got a desk fan, you know, a little computer fan, anything. But the amount of heat that you'd get out of it would be minuscule, and you'd be using the same amount of fuel per hour. So it's a dead dog. I do think that if we went bigger, maybe an 8-inch pipe or a 9-inch pipe, I'm not really sure whether that'd fill the whole available airflow volume with one of these burners, which means if you had a bigger burner, you're going to use a lot more fuel. And I mean, it could work for a much, much bigger room, but one of our customers has bought 2 of these, so you could just buy 2, and then you've got the same capabilities if you had one that's got 12-inch pipes on it instead of 6.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
So this is the optimum size to have.
Yeah,
you know.
It's the room where I'm in now. I'll be in meltdown by now. That is,
your head will be shiny then.
Yeah, it's just getting comfy. It's like comfortable t-shirt weather in here now.
Yeah.
Now it's been switched off for a while. But John was too hot when it was aiming it in his direction.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't read everybody's questions out because we've got a lot in chat tonight. But there's an interesting one here, and we've got Louise Wilcox. Sorry, can I be a bit smug? Chris's idea to put it on wheels. Thank you. It's a good one. So you can move it into a different room while it's still hot. I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's a good one, Louise. Thanks for that. So my credibility has come back. Hello. Oh, hang on. Dave's come up with one.
Heat-proof leather gloves.
Right.
Pick it up, move it while it's hot if you want.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Cheaper than making a set of wheels, isn't it?
I'm just thinking though, if you're picking the bricks up and the fan up and the tray up and then moving your pound coin and
whatever. Yeah, well, I'll just put the camera down and then I'll give you a demo of the position.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That is, whilst he's gone, I intend to point it at a clothes horse. Clothes. Hey, Dave, Aunt Sally's come up with a cracker.
Not too close, though.
I intend to point
I'll get I mean, actually, I don't know if I can. Right, what it is, so this here, yeah. It's that light that you can just pick it up. If I could get John to film it and use 2 hands, you could just pick the full tray up with it on and move it to wherever you like.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. Aunt Sally's just gone into another territory. In winter, now I haven't got a clothes dryer. Well, I have got one that you hang the clothes on, but what I mean to say, they call it tumble dryers or whatever you call them. I intend to point it at a clothes horse full of wet clothes. Now, you have something that's wet in the middle of winter and you want to dry it off. It's a bloody problem. You stick it in front of that and you have scorched underwear.
It worked perfect. And also, if people have got these super dry houses where there's hardly any, instead of buying, you can buy these machines that are a humidifier and they humidify your air. You can get a dehumidifier or a humidifier because there's a lot of skin problems that are caused by really dry air with centrally heated houses with well insulated double glazing and things. If you was pointing this heater at a rack full of damp clothes, it'd fully humidify all your atmosphere and give you a double bonus. It'd heat your room, dry your clothes, well, a triple bonus, and rehumidify your air, so it'll be better for your lungs.
Yeah,
that's right. Because what I do is I've got a north-facing front window, so I put my clothes on a rails and on me what they call it, clothes horse, and stick it in the front window. And now we got here. This is a good. What was it? Michelle Salisbury. Well done, Dave, for thinking about the safety aspect of it. Also, thanks, Michelle. And I was just wondering, if a load of us, because we've often meet down here, I wonder if it would be cheaper postage if a load of us ordered several of them. Just a thought. No, you might as well send them in.
You can knock yourself out. Order 50 each if you want.
That's the point.
If I need some extra help, I can always get some Ukrainian refugees as lodgers and get £350 a month off the government for each one, and put them to work digging silicone off these heaters and boxing them all up all day for £2 a day.
We've got some really, really good questions in here, but do you feel some adverts coming on? Because I do, and I think we've got to do one for, what should we do? let's do this one. So we're gonna have to go in for the adverts now. We're gonna have an advert break. So the lady come round in your room wherever you are with the popcorns and the ice cream, isn't that? So
I'd like
here
to
we go.
Hello. Are you partial to something a little different? Do you like to give the two-finger salute to mainstream media? Then look no further than Fockham Hall Radio. With its charming mix of information and lots of archive footage, it really is a treat for the senses. You will surely exclaim, well, butter my crumpets, when you peruse all that Fockham Hall has to offer. So, just pop along, quick sticks, to www.fockhamhallradio.com. You'll be assured of a super spiffing time, and as we like to say, Fockham Hall.
An opinion can only be formed by looking at the evidence. Nowadays, information is overwhelmingly corrupted by corporate and agenda interests that often relies upon mass ignorance to survive. John Hamer is a best-selling author who cuts through the jungle of lies to bring you thoroughly researched information. His books are obtainable from his website, allthews.falsificationofhistory.co.uk, or Amazon, or if you wish to contact him, he can be contacted on jch120752@gmail.com. Thank you. That's all right, you can get the heater off there. Now, we're going to have some adverts later on for Vicky and Edge Crusher. So they bought me a coffee and all, so thank you. So we're going to have an advert for them. And we're going to have one for, we're not going to have one, we're going to have one for Hayley, but the thing is, I can't promote her business while she's on honeymoon.
No, because she's not there to do it.
She's not there to do it, so I thought, well, I'll do it when she comes back. How's that? So that's another one there. But thank you. So we're going to do.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
we can still hear you, and we still see your foot. It's a very nice, famous foot.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. No. We like your shoes. You might be able to sell your boots and all.
Yeah.
But you've got a pound shop lighter on there as well, next to a Swiss Army knife.
Yes, it's all going on the table.
That's right. And,
right, somebody called Sue Rowe and said, "What's my opinion about using a bioethanol wick?"
Wick, yeah.
That was one that was here. Where is it, Sue Rowe?
These are no good for a heater because they don't suck up enough bioethanol to supply enough heat to operate the system what we're doing. It's no wicked system would work here at all.
Right.
Bioethanol wick, that's like it's mainly just a candle, really. You know, it's not going to supply enough heat to heat a room. It'd probably heat a car if you was living in your van or something like that. You might get a couple of degrees above what it was outside.
Yeah.
But wicked bioethanol don't really work. Now I have got a paraffin stove, which is also a heater, and that uses a very large round wick that you can turn up. And but like I explained when I was first developing this heater, I wouldn't recommend paraffin because it makes your house stink.
Yeah.
And it also puts out a lot of moisture, like callouts and camping stoves do as well.
Right.
So you'd end up with very humid. So that's the answer to the ethanol wicks.
Right.
Also, this guy who you've said's allegedly a troll here, he said, "I'm not a troll. I'm passionate." He's been saying so. He's been saying so. Basically, it's a rocket stove. Well, that's not correct because a rocket stove it works on an insulated vertical pipe with an area to feed the fuel in, which is usually wood and or wood pellets. Now, a rocket stove wouldn't be suitable for use indoors due to the carbon monoxide, and also this is the opposite of a rocket stove. It's a kind of a Venturi stove, if you wanted to call it some kind of name, because it works on a Venturi vortex system. Now, this is uninsulated. A rocket stove has thick insulation of the walls so that it preserves the heat and creates the rocket effect. Chris knows a lot about rocket stoves. He's a kind of a rocket stove expert. But this is designed not to be insulated so that you get latent heat conduct transfer out of the metal walls as well. So it's not just the heat that blows out the front here. It's the heat that comes out generally from a conduction standpoint. So it's a lot more efficient than a rocket stove, and it's safe for indoor use, unlike a rocket stove.
Righto. And we got here, Engelbert Humperdonk says, cheap casters on ply wouldn't cost too much. I've really started a ball rolling in the wrong direction here, haven't I?
Yeah, it's not really heavy enough to require wheels, and if you're worried about moving it when it's hot, just get a pair of these. So,
yes,
keep it simple, innit? Keep it simple.
The trolley or the non-trolley brigade. It's like you know, EU, non-EU, something like that. You know. We've got Paul Johnson. Good day, mate.
That's my friend. Right? That's my friend Paul from New Zealand.
Is he in New Zealand now?
Yeah. Well, he's way there. He lives there.
Now let's have a look. It's good morning to you. Morning. Good morning.
I'm guessing that the guy in New Zealand doesn't feel remotely upside down.
No.
No. I wonder why that is.
Flat Earth.
Well, yeah.
It's right. Haven't you got a charming prime monster?
Yeah, prime monster.
I think. You know, one with a goofy. Oh, hang on. We got some geezer. I don't know who he is. John H. Who's he? No, I know who he is. This is John Hamer. Yeah. Hello. Hi, Chris. Hello.
Twittering in the background.
Slightly off topic, but a lot of folk have been asking when the new book, which is Dave. Sorry, John. Welcome to the Masquerade. That's what it is.
Yes.
Is out on Kindle. It is out in the UK now and
when
should
is it
be
out,
available rest of the world in the next day or two.
Everyone.
Day or so. So that's all right. And I'd like to also thank hang on. There he is from across the room. No, you're not. You're in Barbados.
Barbados.
That's right. Now I'd like to also add that John and Shannon's actually doing all the setting out of it. Kindly put my dad's book onto Kindle and that.
Fabulous. Can't wait.
And I wrote one. I decided to do a foreword on there. And for those,
are you publishing your dad's book then, Chris?
Yeah.
Now, that's a fantastic idea. I highly recommend that.
Thank you very much.
John told me about it, and that needs to be published.
For anybody that doesn't know about, he's gone, look. For anybody that doesn't know about it, give us a bit of a clue what it's about.
Well, it's my World War II, and it's about, and you can, I actually got them printed when he first published it. So you can still buy the books. Yes, the books are there. Hang on, let's get Dave back. I'll just put a, if you go on to find the book, if you go onto my website, like this, FockhamHallRadio.com, or all
not everybody's
pay, you'll find out.
He's still in the box. Let's not hold it against him. Let's educate him.
My dad, he spent 10 years writing it, and it's a book like you've never read before.
I've got to read that.
Say is thanks to Shannon for typing it, so it should be available on Kindle soon. And I wrote a foreword. And
should I provide a massive tirade against this person or not?
What? He's talking about something else.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, well, John thinks that this Geo, what's his name? GOS some other. He thinks that this guy's taking the piss.
Well, yeah, but I just ignore people that take the piss. They want to be happy. If they're happy, look. If a person's a troll or they want to take the piss, isn't it sad? Because we're on here to be happy and enjoy and help people. So let's look on in with simple.
Well, I'm only really here to help people.
That's right.
You know,
So
that's all I originally came on for.
Always, but quite honestly, if someone wants to take the piss, they obviously got an inferiority complex, because when taking the piss,
And it's probably justified.
yes.
Clown.
That's why they don't have to accept me. But what I was going to say, I was doing the foreword to my dad's book for this new Kindle one, and I suffer from a little bit of depression occasionally. And I wrote the foreword, but I think it must be the most depressing foreword. I'm going to start scratch and do a happy one that you've ever read. And John looked at it, he said, "No." Spot on, John. Thanks for your help. No, but seriously. Now let's have a look here, and we got now let's have a look here. Yes, we got some nasty things being said in the chat, but it's always good for a laugh, isn't it? It shouldn't be really, because we're looking at mental illness. Well, not mental illness, but somebody that's got a bit of a problem, obviously. Now, don't have any Engelbert Humperdonk. Don't have any hands, so I'll go with a trolley dolly. Hey, one more for me. Trolley dolly, yeah.
I think I'd have a trolley, actually, just so that it was easy not to have to like move everything in different stages.
I was going to do like an IKEA one that all folds up, you know.
Yeah.
With things, you know, that falls to bits after when it's burning. Says here, Salaway, rocket stove and rocket mass heater stove are similar but not the same. No, they're not, because he's talking about a totally different sort of way of burning things, you know. Because with a rocket stove, they made them from mud and straw sometimes, a special type of mud. And what's this, Paul Johnson? Morning, Chris.
See, you got it right there. It is now 7 minutes past 8 in New Zealand tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, that's it.
It's taken me months and months to get that right.
Yes. Now we got here. What have we got here? Michelle Salisbury. Good evening, John. Hope you are well. That's all right, isn't it? So, by the way, do you know last week with Miles, we said his mum's Tom and Dick. She was a bit sick. She was in hospital. We did the old last week. Well, you weren't here, but we did.
I wasn't here. I was in.
She's out of hospital now, and she's got home.
Oh,
she's almost 100. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all, is it? You know. So, do you feel some more adverts coming on?
Yeah.
We've got to do the other two. So let's have a look here. What we got. So let's go for this. Hello. If you don't want to meet people like this, dressed in leotards and acting strangely, or if you don't want people that do things like this, then why not go along to Yoga Hearts? You can see the website just here, advertised at the bottom of the page, for jolly nice people, or telephone 07463 021 512. And remember to tell Vicky, who runs the class, where you saw this advert. Thank you very much. Are you into piercings and look like a greasy chip shop with your tattoos? Then you need Stalpiss Aftershave. Do you want to dress like a Peruvian ponce? Well, come along to Fockham Hall Fashions and you can look like some spiv from the 1970s. Yes, with these glossy shoes and, oh, I think he's going to ride. Yes, I've now got my Fockham Hall rainmack on. Thanks. I think he's using that Stalpiss aftershave, isn't he? Poor bloody hell. Well, you come along to the IQ Pride movement, where you can meet similar dimwits that believe everything that the government says, and then you can pride yourself in doing everything the government tells you to do.
Oh, there's just me, look.
Hey, we're back again.
Back.
Dave's down a coal mine. Well, shall we put another advert on until Dave comes back? Yeah, well, why not? So I think this is, hang on, I think I've got one here. No. Oh, well, it's
hello, can you hear me?
Hey, you're back again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So, we're going to sell the stale piss aftershave, are we?
You could blow that through you later.
Right. So this is quite an interesting mod here. So we're saying that I think it's quite. I think the trolley idea is getting a little bit of, sorry, Dave, Right, now let's have a look what else we got in chat.
Right, you've got me instead of the eater now.
Hey. And this is Michelle. This is Michelle Salisbury. Good to hear that Miles's mum is out of hospital. Hope she makes a good recovery. Well, she should with Miles around because his stuff is really good. Now, I won't read this out, but yes. Again, I always look on in sympathy when there's people trolls and that, because they are a bit sad. So let's hope they find happiness. That's one thing. So that's all. Hello, we could do a find happiness. Find happiness, joy, inner peace. That's what's needed. Anyway, Dave, should we give another plug for your heater? It's £160. You get it from
£163 somewhat, including postage and packing.
Right, £163. Sorry, my mistake there. And you get it from where are we?
John's website.
And here it is, falsificationofhistory.co.uk. And the only thing you have to supply is the tray from the pound shop and a brick.
But they need to email John. They need to email John at his email address to order it.
Email address jch1200752@gmail.com. Sorry, there it is. So there it is. Now the thing is that's a good idea with that angle going upwards. So I can see what's happening because it's pulling the flames upwards in many ways.
Yeah.
Now, so the other thing is that I can see how light it is, and I can understand your idea of saying, you get some, leather gloves, and you can move it wherever you want. But I think it's personal choice. If someone wants a trolley, they have a trolley.
Definitely, yeah.
That's
it. If somebody wants to build some little wheels for it, then put a board on some wheels, then let them. We're not here to tell people what to do. I'm just pointing out that it's been designed to be highly portable, and it comes apart in seconds, and you can just stick it in a cupboard, or you can, or if you want to move it while it's hot, which I can't see why you'd want to move it while it's hot, but if you did, then a pair of £5 leather gloves. They know.
I'll tell you something else though. Now I'm in a room that's it's a very small room which I use to do this broadcasting. I'd say that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foot one way and a bit further the other way. I think what I would do, I'll put the heater on, and I'd only have a quarter of the fuel in it, because that would be enough to heat it up. Because the way that goes, you need it for about 10 minutes. You'd be nice and toasty. So,
I see Aunt Sally's put a question. I don't know. I don't think that'd work. I know this is a stupid question. What would happen if you put a tea light candle into the contraption? It won't give off a lot of heat, would it?
It won't give off a lot of heat, but what I'd recommend if you want to use tea lights is maybe put 8 or 9 of them on the tray, shove the heater on top of them, but don't run the fan, because you'll just blow them all out.
Yeah. And
then it'll just give you like an ambient radiant heat where the heat will come out of each end of the pipe at the top, and it'll heat the top of it up, and you'll have that kind of a storage heater, which will run for literally next to nothing, because it's, the candles are next to no, and it won't harm you in your room because it won't produce enough carbon monoxide to cause a problem with 8 or 9 tea light candles. So say if you was in a room the size of the room Chris is in, that might well eat that room up because it's tiny. But this is designed to eat a room, say 15 foot by 12 foot or something like that.
Well, that's it. But mind you, I did a flower pot heater. And you can see it on YouTube. I did this experiment a couple of years ago. Number one, it's dangerous.
Well, I can't see what it's saying.
And what happened is you have two flower pots, one on top of the other one, a small one and a big one. You put a penny at the top of the the outer flower pot. Right. And then you put the flower pots on a baking tray, but one with a deep, the deep baking tray.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you put the candles underneath. One thing, or several things. Yes, carbon monoxide because it's candles. But my neighbour's daughter came in. She went, it stinks of paraffin in here. I didn't notice it because you get used to it.
Yeah.
But it stinks off. And I bought the cheapest tea lights were IKEA.
Yeah. Big bag full.
That's right. A big bag full. But they are paraffin and they do stink. And I think there's a carbon monoxide problem. That's why I think this is the bioethanol thing. Yeah. I've still got lots of tea light candles and I might actually do that in this room. But it's the smell of paraffin. That's the problem with tea lights. Yeah, you can get artificial smells for them, Now, what we got else in...
somebody's telling me to sit still. Oh. Right, I am sat still, but I keep moving the camera because I keep moving my camera like that, and then I'm reaching over to get a beer, so I am actually sat still. And if I agree to try and look like I'm sit still, will he agree to learn basic spelling?
Yeah.
Well, I've got here. You've got a donation button on here. Yes, if you go down below, it says buy me a coffee. See, so you can donate there, and what I always say to people is that if you can want to buy all free coffee, that'd be nice, and I'll share it out. Not literally a coffee. It's about five.
It'd be a bit cold by the time it gets up here.
Yeah, it would be a bit freezing. Now this is an interesting one. What does the external surface temperature of the hottest part of the heater reach? A bit scientific here. Is there potential to combine it with a Stirling engine? Now that's an interesting one, Salloway. I know what you mean by a Stirling engine. It works on the heat, doesn't it? I think. Excuse me. So what's that? What do you think of that one, Dave? No, what does the external surface?
No, I mean, I've seen Stirling engines in action and things, but I don't think the heat that comes off the vertical part of this, which is the hottest portion, would do anything on that score. The whole idea of we started off with hardly any height, but then we did further research and put more height in to get a taller flame, which we were speaking about with Chris the other week, because he was surprised at the height of the flame would go out the Trangia burner, which is, usually only a few inch high flame. We've got it, probably 14 inches high, due to the Venturi effect, which is actually a correct description of the stove. It's not a rocket stove. And I don't think that the heat that comes off the vertical portion, which is the hottest area, is any good for anything apart from heating the room that it's in.
What about a tea stove? That's another name, a tea stove, because it is a T shape.
It's T shaped. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Really.
Yeah, that'd be an idea.
I don't know. If everybody wants me to think of a name for it, then I'll put my mind to it, and next time I come on, I'll have a name for it if that's what you want.
I think tea stove. It's got something. You never know, tea stove, because it is a T shape. Yeah.
I'm reluctant to call it that in case people start trying to make tea on it. Because the top's curved and it'll spill everywhere.
Right. Just let me type this up, because I've just come up with some. Wait a minute.
Stirling engine differential. Thanks, Salloway. I didn't realise that. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
There we go. That's my name for it now.
What's that?
I've typed it on the screen. Theta.
Right, John's not happy about this clown in the comments, Chris, right? John is not happy about this clown in the comments.
Right.
Yeah? Now, he's saying it's not up to him, right? But as far as I'm concerned, if John isn't happy about something, then I'll do something about it, right? So dump this numpty out the chat.
Hang on. The whole
this GOS twat, right? This numpty called GOS something or other, right? Dump him out the chat for his own good.
Just have, and all the other chats have gone.
Because he's annoyed John, right? And that means he's annoyed me.
Hang on. They've all come back again. Whoa.
So that's how it is.
He's gone now. He's blocked. So he's gone.
Right, cheers for that, mate. No worries.
I'll tell you what, my heart missed a beat just then because the whole chat disappeared for a while. But
no, it's back.
Luckily it's back.
I mean, it didn't bother me what this guy was saying, but as far as I'm concerned, it's upset John, and that's good enough for me, mate.
Yeah, well, quite honestly,
anybody who annoys John, right? If I find out about it, they've got a massive problem.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a problem that don't stay on the internet. I'll tell you now.
No.
GS85 was blocked, so he can't
gone
anymore. And I think it's my fault. I should have. He was on there for too long, and I should have blocked him immediately.
Oh no, we're not trying to have a go at you, mate. I'm just saying. Once I feel that John's getting upset or out like that, then I have to act, mate, because that's how it is.
No, I understand you weren't having a go at me. I understand that, but it sounded like that. But I blame myself because when I saw he was a troll, I should have got rid of him straight away.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't mind trolls. I do it myself. Do you know what I mean? It's a good laugh, but our priority is John and how he feels about things because he's the only reason I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have known any of you. I wouldn't have even come on here if he hadn't have said, "Oh, do you fancy doing this?" So, and he's done a lot for me, and he's my best friend, and that's how it is.
And you've done a lot for me, Dave, because if it wasn't for you, you've helped me because, you know, I've got that blood pressure problem and you've helped me, mate.
No, that'll be history. If you follow them instructions, that'll be history. I cured mine. You'll cure yours.
Yeah. And do you know something? I find what I do, I have the main meal in the morning. And that's how
it doesn't really matter when you have it as long as there's 22 hours of fasting.
That's right. That's it. But
the reason I don't do it in the morning, the reason I don't have my main meal in the morning is because it stops the advantage of 8 or 10 hours fasting while you're asleep, because it don't bother you while you're asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. I didn't realise that.
Yes.
Anyway, I would say now I've already done it, Sebastian. Chris can block simple out. Yeah, I've just done it. But what shook me is when all the chat just disappeared for a while. I went, but it's taken all. Sorry, I sound a bit like Jimmy Savile just then. But I went,
back on again.
Yeah, I'd like to apologise to all the other viewers for that outburst, but I'm committed to making sure that John's happy, and that's how it is.
I understand. Now, hang on.
He's come back on again under a different name, so maybe he'd like to meet me somewhere.
Yeah.
Just one moment. Sure. Let's get rid of him again. Right, won't be a moment. That's it. He's gone again. Now it says here, you need a moderator, Chris. Well, Yorkshire Deb was going to be the moderator. We never got around to it, have we?
No, we didn't.
So in future, you become the moderator.
Yes, and I'll be kicking them off.
Yes. Now you got here Paul Johnson down here in Kiwi Land.
Yeah.
Damn, he's gone. He's going to have some fun. You can make moderators. I can do anything unless you. Sorry, I can do anything unless you do it. Don't stand a second for it. No need for it. I agree with you. Well, actually, you could both be, because Deb, I know Sebastian Moran. Hello, mate. And obviously, I know you did. So you could both be.
Yeah.
I don't. Can you have as many as you want on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess we got. This is nice. Cat Holdsworth. It's been a bit of entertainment with him, hasn't it? Dave is a star.
Dave is a star.
And we got here, bugger. Sorry for spoiling your fun, Paul. And on yourself, Dave. What's this? Sorry, don't understand that one. Pardon me. And we got Don Basilone. I think Dave is my brother from across the sea. Oh, isn't that nice?
That's cute. So you've got family you didn't know about, Dave.
Yeah. So that's brilliant. So I think we'll have some moderators on the next show. And that's 100% correct because Salaway, I watch exactly the same YouTube show. Robert Murray Smith channel does some excellent work on renewable and home engineering. Might be worth a look. Do you know of him, Robert Murray Smith?
Farming Friends was blocked. Who was blocked? Farming Friends. Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. Well done, mate.
Farming Friends was him, wasn't he?
Was it? All right, no.
Yeah, it was him under another name.
Yeah, that's Farming Friends. Yeah, but he'll probably be back again. You never know. It says here, Robert Murray Smith. Do you know of him, Dave?
Who?
Robert Murray Smith. He's got a channel on YouTube, and he does all kinds of things with. He made a fence with windmills on them. Right. So as the wind blows,
to generate his own electric. That's a brilliant idea.
And it really looks nice because when you look at it, it looks like waves going across the fence. So if you've got one in your garden, whichever way the wind blows, you're generating electricity.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic to me. It's a bit high budget for me. This is why I tend to do macro systems, which are sort of borderline DIY, which are doable for your average person, where you can help yourself without any big outlay.
Yeah.
I applaud the idea of somebody having a massive long fence with the posts having windmills on top, because it's going to work, because it will generate electricity.
He's very interesting. He's actually in Canterbury in Kent. So he's down but he's actually from, his accent, I think he's from Tyneside or somewhere like that, Newcastle. And what he does is he's got a fence and it really looks fantastic. You see like waves as the winds go. He does all kinds of things. Electric bike is made, and he tests out you name it, he does it. Hello, Dave's gone. Is he all right? Hey,
yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah,
worth checking him out. I'll give you I'll try and put a link down, but he's very, very interesting bloke. And he's making an electric car. He's got these big workshops. He's got that French car that's electric. The one that what's it called? Can't think of its name. But the one that hasn't got any doors on it. You sit inside, and it's plastic. And you drive it. And I think it goes about. I think it will probably just about overtake a push bike, and it's got a range.
Don't forget, he's got to have 8 foot between him and the pushback now, otherwise you can get points on your license.
Yeah.
Stupid rules.
Hang on, I'm just thinking because there's no such thing as male and female now. What about push? Is that not politically correct? It has to be a motorless engined vehicle.
Honestly.
But the thing is, someone said to me, why don't you get an electric bike? I just like the old-fashioned ideas, really. Get on a bike. You don't have to charge the bloody thing. It's a bit of an arsehole going uphill, but when you're going downhill, it's lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Free
that's all right. Anyway, I think it's been a fantastic show, isn't it? I mean, I'm really interested. And we had a bit of fun with the
troll.
The troll.
If I'm lucky enough to get invited on next time, I'll do a 10-litre rucksack, which is only a 10-litre. Remember, it's a tiny rucksack. You won't even know you've got it on. You can put it on and you can wear it every day. And it gives you a full everyday carry survival system in case something happens while you're out.
Right.
In case something suddenly happens, say if there's a catastrophic event while you're out, like, I don't know, there's a giant explosion that looks like an 800-foot high mushroom in your neighbourhood. You know, obviously it's going to be the British government that's planted 10,000 tons of dynamite and pretended it's a nuclear bomb. You know, that kind of thing. and then it'll be on the news. Russia has launched a missile and it's hit Nottingham. Yeah, brilliant.
You've always got to have a pile of bricks with a child's shoe at the top of it, haven't you? You've got to have a child's shoe because all the cameramen do that.
Yeah. John said if they did it in Nottingham, it'd do 43 quid's worth of damage.
What the bloody hell that is? But we got here. We got that's a brilliant one with the rucksack. And what's that one that the army uses? A special name for it, which is
Bergen.
Sorry, Bergen. Yeah, Bergen one. They are absolutely. They'll stand.
Yeah, mine's 135 litres. But the point is this is a 10-litre one that I'm on about here that anybody can carry, right? And I'll show you what I've got in it that can mean that you can create food, water, shelter, heat and light for a long period of time with just what's in a 10-litre rucksack.
Right.
And I've got a 10-litre rucksack to demonstrate this if the viewers might be interested in seeing what's in it.
Definitely.
And where to get the items from.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
Actually, Dave, you're a regular guest like John and Yorkshire Deb. So, you know, you got anytime you want to come on, then just say.
Just let us know. I'll come on whenever you like. You know, I wasn't supposed to be doing tonight's until next week, but then John said, "Oh, do you fancy doing it tonight?" So here I am.
Yeah. Well,
I've had the opportunity to demonstrate the eater and the new mods, which I'm very excited about. I really love this eater, and I think it's a winner.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm absolutely confident that everybody who's bought one's going to love it once they get the how to fine tune it down.
Yeah.
You know, once they learn how to fine tune it with tilting the fan, tilting the actual body of it itself, and putting the pound coin under the front. It's just epic. The amount of heat that comes out of it, just from the addition of that coin gap, which one of the people who bought it pointed out. I've been texting with him most of the day. We've been doing some joint research and development on it. Even though I've decided not to include his half moon blocker at the back end of the inlet, I've decided that there's a much bigger effect with the pound coin end. So that's why I haven't included the half moon blocker, because it's a bit of a complex piece of tin foil engineering to put an half moon door on the back and things, and people might not be able to be bothered with it, you know. But anybody can get a pound coin and stick it in underneath. So I always go with the mantra of keep it simple.
Yeah, and it works.
Point, and I think you will be. I think you'll, Dave, be like that Joseph Bazalgette, the man that nobody's hardly ever heard of, but the man that cleaned up the London water supply and saved thousands, perhaps millions of lives because he did that. You know, and unsung hero. And we got here Sebastian Moran. I'll be a moderator, no problem. All right, mate. Okay. And this is an interesting one. Engelbert Humperdonk. Dave, you should do a book on your skill set. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
Better people than me have done books on their skill set, I can assure you, and I've learned it from them.
Well, no, you're excellent. And actually, because Shannon was going to come on tonight talking about frequencies, the way they affect us.
Yeah.
But and that's what
frequencies and vibrations are everything. Frequencies and vibration is the fabric of reality.
Well, I think that quite honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with a computer, but thanks for coming on at short notice. It's very, very, and you've done fantastic. You know, you've done a real great display tonight. And I think what you're going to talk about next is building up a lot of interest here. Can you just not links for obtaining parts to make the heater. Well, you can just buy it. It's easy to buy it straight off Dave, isn't it? I suppose.
It is, because if he buys it off a fabricator, they'll have to spend like 5 or 6 hours gouging all the silicone sealant out to make it safe to use as a heater, because these are not heater parts.
No.
They weren't originally intended to be heaters, so I've modified it to work like that, and that's how it is. It's I wouldn't really want to send somebody links to something and recommend them use it as an heater, because I don't know how efficiently or competently they'd remove all the hazardous chemicals before they light it is, and I wouldn't want to. I really wouldn't want to guide anybody down that road in case they don't do it right or they don't understand half of it, and they might poison themselves or fill their house with smoke or anything. So that's why, there's nobody's hiding anything here. I'm not trying to make a killing out of people or anything like that. But barely. I explained a couple of weeks ago, I'm not trying to make a killing on this, but I'm not going to mug myself off. I ain't going to sit there for 5 and 6 hours gouging hazardous chemicals off someone and burning them off with my pocket blowtorch, which I've already shown the viewers. I'm not going to do that for fun.
No.
You know what I mean? Because it's per heater. It's like hours and hours per heater. And it's not just that. They arrive with really sharp, jagged edges with loads of swarf on from the fabricators, from the sheet metal press and things. And all that's got to get filed off, sanded down, and everything. There's a lot of work that goes in. It might look like nothing, but it doesn't arrive like this. It's got loads of plastic stickers on, and when you peel them off, it leaves a big frame of glue, which is hazardous if it gets exposed to heat. So all that you've got to scrape off with your fingernails and then sand it off with sandpaper, and then test it with the blowtorch to make sure it's all gone.
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes into this. I am actually helping people. I'm not here running a business or anything. I'm just helping people.
I agree with you. I'll tell you something. £163. You think you will save that? It will pay for itself in no time at all.
It will do after October. After you get your 500% price hike on gas and electric in October, assuming that the bioethanol is still a reasonable price, or you're able to make it yourself, it's going to pay for itself in a week.
Yeah,
that's right. And we got here, Sebastian, Mega Lols Dave. Don't understand that. Sorry, mate.
Mega laughs.
Sorry?
Mega laughs.
Laughs out like, oh, I got it. Yes. That's so true, Sebastian. Now it says, John Basingloan, that rucksack is a good idea for a show. Yeah, why not? Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that next time I come on. If Chris wants to invite us on again, I'm happy to do that.
You're more than welcome. And we've got here, yes, please, Dave. Very interested.
Yeah, and more to the point, it'll be all UK legal carry. So there'll be nothing in the bag which a policeman can argue with if you happen to get stopped and searched. Yeah. So there'll be no fixed blade knives in there. There'll be no locking knives in there. There'll be no multi-tools with locking blades in there. So this is something that you can actually carry every time you go out the house.
I'll tell you something, I have a particular interest in this, because Michelle Salisbury says, sounds very interesting, the 10-litre rucksack, because Michelle is a bit like me. I don't leave the house unless I've got a rucksack on my back. And I'm a rucksack fanatic. I love them. And I've got loads of them. And I'll tell you something, I've got a frame one that I made myself, because you don't get frame rucksacks now, do you?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't looked.
Mine has an internal bendable frame that you can custom form it to the shape of your own spine. A bit like the military issue Bergen. It's got a 3-prong aluminium internal frame. Yeah. I think you're referring to the external frame ones.
Yeah. Because there's a bloke on YouTube, he had a Bergen, and he was literally trying to wreck it. And he was, I'm not sure he was ex-SAS, I think he was a commander or something like that, forces. And he said he's only seen one of those fail once, and that was when a bloke was gouged himself on some rocks or something. But he said they are so well made. He said you can't destroy them. They're sort of, they just go and go and go. Now it's here. Engelbert Humperdinck, I have many of the books, but like your way, that polite. That's great. That's great. That is.
Yeah, thanks very much for the compliment. I mean, he knows as well as I do who the people are who've wrote all these books that I've learnt everything off. And one of them in particular is a guy called John Lofty Wiseman, and he's the godfather of survival. It's as simple as that. And then there's Dave Canterbury as well. He's similar.
Yes, yes. Because I like to. I take almost the kitchen, everything but the kitchen sink out with me when I go out. You know, I used to carry. I've stopped in our toilet roll in the back rucksack in case you caught short, and because when you go to crappers, they never have toilet rolls, do they?
No, they don't.
That's right.
Yeah. And if you do go into the crapper in an urban situation and they've got an excess of toilet roll, it's your duty to harvest some of that for another occasion where you might be in one that hasn't got any.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
I can actually tell you a funny story of the toilet roll saga. But when I was at school, but hang on, I'll just read another one out. Are we due? We are due for massive false flag on. Yeah, I won't say the date. Yeah, I think we're due for one soon. I think but do you want to hear the rather filthy story of when I was at school? And when you needed to go for a crap, you had to say number 1 or number 2, and the teacher would tear off 3 sheets of toilet paper for you when you went to the crappy, you see. Well, I didn't know what number 1 and number 2 was because I was only about 6.
Well, yeah.
Toilet paper. Yes, number 1 or number 2. Number 2, please. So I got it right. 3 sheets of toilet paper. So I was walking down the corridor with 3 sheets of toilet paper, and there was a school teacher who he actually missed his vocation in life. He should have been senior interrogator in the SS because this bastard, where are you going, boy? I have a toilet. You know, they said, number 1 or number 2. And he snatched the paper out of my hand and said, you won't be needing them, will you? So anyway, he said, I will time you all, and if you're longer than, I can't remember the time, 3 minutes, there'll be big trouble, okay, boy? So anyway, I went in there, and of course, as I was so shit scared, the bells seized up. I couldn't have a crap, you see. So I went back to the the classroom, and of course, I wanted to go, but of course, once you've been left, when you
go again,
time, so you'd either shit yourself or that's it. So anyway, I was cooking it all up, see, and by the time the bell went, oh blimey, I just about made it in time. Of course.
Oh God.
Oh well, quite honestly, you know, Mafeking was relieved.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I had a bit of a problem because I had no toilet paper. So I opened the school case, and inside was I kid you not, it's book of logarithms. It's got logbook. So the toilet pages out. Of course, those old school books, the pages are really thick. So the toilet thing. Next day, there's the old janitor in there. So these bloody kids putting their putting their school books
in toilet
down the toilet, clogging the toilet up. These bloody kids, when we were a kid, you know, we didn't throw our exercise books. This little sod's rubbed his arse on it as well. I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna have a quick whizzing chat again, and then I think we'll what do you call it?
The good news. I've got some good news.
Yeah.
My phone battery was on 82% when I set off, and we've done all this time, and it's still at 57. So it's able to podcast live video for a real long time. I was a bit worried about this, and John said, "Oh well, if it runs out, it runs out. We'll try and go on the computer." But it's held up real well. and it's a far more mobile camera, so I can show what I'm doing, which will be a massive advantage when I'm showing a table full of everyday carry survival kit next time I'm on, because I'll be able to spread it all out on the table and show you what each item is.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, because
I am,
says, Kath, Dave mentioned it earlier. That's what I meant, Loz, about it's true. Oh, all right.
I think we missed that.
I think we missed that one. But Uncle Bert Humperdonk got the SAS book back in the day. Classic.
You've got that somewhere.
80s, wasn't it? SAS Survival Guide.
Yeah, John Lofty Wiseman.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Way it's planned out now, Shannon was going to come on this week and he was going to come on next week, but we swapped it round because Shannon's computer's gone up the spout. So we're on this week. Now, what I'm thinking is, if you'd like to, I don't know what's going to happen with Shannon next week. Now, if her computer's still up the spout, because I was planning, Dave, it's all right with you, the week after next. But if her computer's up the spout, maybe next week.
Yeah, I'm all right. Anyway, anytime you want, mate. No worries. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm
bloody interested in this 10-litre.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, because it's only small, and I've actually found a really high quality 10-litre backpack at a tabletop sale, and it's an Osprey one, and they're 70 quid new. Osprey. Yeah. I got it for £3.
Wow.
And I've stuffed it with an everyday carry loadout so that I can demonstrate this. Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, if I'm going out the house, I can handle anything with whatever's in my pockets, but not everybody's like that. So it's a good thing to have extra items for them that might not be Lofty Wiseman or Dave Canterbury. You know, I'm here to help people who might not necessarily have a massive skill set to be able to improvise things from nothing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's most of the people. And I say, if you provide something that can help most of the people, it's better than just kind of preaching to the converted who already know everything needs to know about it. Because there's a lot of people, and there might be even some of our viewers who might be as knowledgeable as I am about primitive survival. Who knows? You know, it's all about sharing what works.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you. I mean, when I go out, I take a sort of minimal stuff, like a toilet roll and things like that. But it's like when I go on this bike, I don't take a bike pump with me because it's pointless. Because I check it before I go out, and really, if you get a puncture, tough tits, I'll have to walk back. You know.
Yeah.
But I actually put what is called slime in my bicycle tire.
Yeah, it's that green stuff in it. Yeah.
It looks like, excuse my language, snot.
Snot. Yeah, snot. It looks like snot. Yeah.
Once you've got that in your tires, you don't have to worry much about punctures, because I've got sports tires which are very, very narrow. One of my bikes, and that's always, it's notorious for bloody punctures, that is. You know, but so I wouldn't go out unless I've got slime in the bike. But what I've found is, you know, those pliers that you fold up, those multi-tool things.
Yeah.
I get out of trouble a lot of times. That is brilliant, and I've got one of those on me all the time. But
the problem with these like Leatherman multi-tools and the Victorinox Swiss tool and things is they've all got locking blades.
Yes.
What's that one there? Has that got a locking blade on it?
It's wait a minute.
Gerber centre drive.
It's got your pliers.
Yes. When you pull the blade out, does it lock?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's illegal to carry in the UK then.
Right.
My one does as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. If you get pulled by a policeman and searched because of your ethnicity, right? Which is.
Minority.
It depends what decade you're speaking into. What that is, you're in a minority at the moment. But
a minority group.
But if they was to pull that out your rucksack or out your pocket, and they'd find out that it's got a locking blade, that's up to 4 years in prison if you can't supply a good, plausible reason where you have to carry it. And I've looked at a lot of these cases, and mostly, unless you're an electrician on the way to a job, or a joiner or a carpenter on the way to a job, you haven't got a good reason to carry that.
Right. Good to know.
Now, if just for the sake of argument, you've got like a foot-long machete, right, in your rucksack, but everything else in your rucksack is like a tent, a tarp, a load of tent pegs and stuff like that. What are you doing? Oh, I'm going wild camping. I'm doing a stove demo on video. That'll be a good reason to carry a 12-inch machete, because you've got a plausible, reasonable reason to carry it, and you can say you're welcome to take it to court, mate. But my everyday carry system, which I've devised for the 10-litre rucksack, has nothing in it that you need a reason to carry.
Right.
It's all perfect. Well, it's perfect to take anywhere unless you're trying to get on a plane.
Yeah.
I know what you
You're
mean.
allowed it in shops, anywhere, bars, anything you want.
Yeah.
So that's what I think the major advantage is of the system what I've packed in this 10-litre rucksack, because it's perfectly lawful and legal to carry, unlike these. I mean, I really love these multi-tools, but I like to be absolutely bomb-proof if I go out. So if a member of the police force decides to victimise me because he doesn't like my face or whatever, and decides he's in a bad mood, he can't find anything on me that's illegal, which is, it's a winner. Whereas if he was to search you and say, "Oh, look at this, it's got a locking blade on," right? Yeah. And he might say something, I don't know what a Metropolitan Police officer might come up with. He might say, right, well, I'm going to report you for this crime unless you know any students that I can handcuff, kidnap, murder and bury in the woods.
Well, actually, Robert Dawes come up with a good
because
one.
that's their hobby now, isn't it?
Now, I didn't know this, Robert. He says, try using tubeless tyres as they're designed to self-seal.
Yeah, I've heard of them,
Yeah, I've never, and...
solid tyres, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Get solid tyres.
There's only one trouble with solid tyres. I bought some. I couldn't get the bloody things on the rims. And the other thing is, the big problem is they don't give much. So the vibration's much more on a push bike when you've got solid.
When was the last time you tried them, mate, if you don't mind me asking?
18 months ago.
Right, well, they're the modern version. Getting them on the rim, you just need an air dryer on the hot setting. Put them on where they'll go on, and then the bit that's hard to get over, the straight bit, just heat it up, and then it stretches out just on that portion. And you put it on, and then it cools and contracts back onto the rim.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for that. I didn't realise that.
As far as lack of give goes, just get yourself a suspension bike. Then it don't matter how hard your tyres are.
That's a good point, because my racing bike, as I say, I only go down the road, the bloody thing was go bang, punches like anything. But the thing is, that is lethal, because if it rains, you've got no tread on the tyres at all.
Yeah, I have a mountain bike. I've got like a titanium mountain bike and things, and I used to be a keen cyclist.
Yeah. You're a keen cyclist as well.
Used to be, yeah. Now I'm just a fat whack.
But with that diet, though, I think I'm going to be losing a bit of weight there. And it's just Robert Dawes says,
yeah, you can only afford. I've been looking at the BMI because you told me a height and weight and things. You can only afford to lose 1.5 stone on that diet, and then you need to start eating again. Because you're not like me, a big fat bastard who can fast for 1.5 months and have no problems. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just.
We don't want you falling down the drain or all.
I'm just over 10 stone. I'm 5'7", so I'm very lightweight. This is here, Cattlesworth. I expect this flag every day. It could be argued that we are experiencing one huge false flag that has lasted. Yes, I agree with you, Robert. I 100% agree with you there. And Engelbert Humperdonk. Hang on, we got good vibes. That's it. From Sebastian, we've got. You could modify that Gerber to take off lock blade.
Up to 3 inches.
Yeah, you can. People have done that, but I don't know. If you like knifeless, if you like multi-tools, there's a Leatherman rebar,
Yes.
knifeless, a knifeless Leatherman rebar. That's perfectly lawful to carry because it's got no knife on it. All the other blades lock, so your saw and your file and things lock for safe operation. So if you want to push the boat out and spend over £100 and you still want it UK legal carry, get a knifeless Leatherman rebar.
Yes, that's it. And
I've heard of them.
we've got here, Robert Dawes says, as a keen cyclist here, Robert, I bet you're good into cycling. It says, solid tyres can literally be a pain in the arse. Yeah,
Literally.
Yes. Hadji, hi all. I've carried a Swiss Army camper for over 30 years, laugh out loud. It can even screw fix a posse drive in the most unexpected of places. Love to you all. Oh, you still like my joke about screw fix, the dating agency? You know, sent off for their details, expecting to see lots of ladies in it. It's nothing but
my multi-tool of choice is the Victorinox Ranger, Swiss Army knife Ranger. That's the best one as far as survival goes. That's the best one there is.
Right.
Victorinox Ranger.
Yeah.
They're only £40 in Millix.
Really?
Worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. So it's these
Worth its weight in gold. Non-locking blades. Every item on it's really well made. It's a reasonably good steel, easy to sharpen in the field.
Right.
You know, it's not that tough that you can't sharpen it, because a lot of these firms make tool steel blades and things which are brilliant, but when you do eventually blunt it, you need a diamond stone to sharpen it, unless you know about rocks and things. Yeah. You know, obviously you can find rocks in stream beds that'll sharpen tool steel, but you have to know what you're doing.
Victorinox, because they are
Ranger.
the top one.
Ranger. Victorinox Ranger is what I personally carry. That Victorinox Ranger can't be beat.
That's interesting because there's two Swiss Army knife manufacturers, and there's Victorinox and there's another one. Because I've got two.
Yeah, Wenger.
Yes, right. I think Victorinox is slightly better. I personally think. You know.
Yeah, well, they're basically the same, but Wenger have a very, very limited range, so Victorinox have basically took over. But the Victorinox Ranger, give me that, job done. That'll do me. In an extreme situation, that's literally all I need.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to be in that kind of extreme situation. So I carry a lot of stuff. Yeah. Lofty Wiseman says that the more you know, the less you carry. All I can say is I carry a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. With backpacks and equipment, I found that Hungarian army surplus is pretty good. I've got a Hungarian backpack, which is quite good.
Yeah, they're brilliant. The German ones are good. The old German ones are brilliant as well.
And Austrian. Because
all them.
Austrian M65 jackets are better than the American ones, I think.
Yeah, I gave John one. I've given John one.
They're bloody brilliant, aren't they?
I gave John the Austrian military jacket.
Yeah. Oh, that was one you got in the charity shop, isn't it?
Yeah, I gave it him. It's a minter. He didn't wear it though.
It's really good.
I have to get on to him.
He was maybe just humouring me when he said he liked it.
Yeah. It's back of his wardrobe now.
I've got loads of military jackets. Not the camouflage ones, but the green ones, because my attitude is if anything happens, you want to blend gently into the background, and camouflage in a city here in a town is...
That's what you want, mate.
Open camp.
Arctics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jones. Oh.
That's current SAS issue, waterproof smock.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'll tell you what, I showed you the boots that I've got. Oh, bloody, I've forgotten the name of them now. But they're army boots, but very lightweight. But it says here, Soloway says, some heat trick works on seized nuts and bolts.
Yeah, hair dryer.
That's right. And Fergal Sharkey, this is Sussex Rhubarb, says Fergal Sharkey has been waiting for a transplant for over 12 months.
Oh, you've gone dark, Chris.
Why, he said, a good heart is hard to find.
Yeah, I had no idea that punchline was coming, mate. And I was clueless about that. Yeah, it was a massive surprise.
Yeah.
Was it? That's what Rockefeller said. He had 7 transplants, all fresh. That's right. Yeah.
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 The problem he's got is he's not got enough understanding of physics, because he must have thought that the heart of an 8-year-old would be sufficiently strong to pump blood round a 25-stone monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he's used 11 of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've been going for 2 hours. And it's been a brilliant show.
Yeah. Sorry about that, mate.
No, not at all. That 10-litre backpack. We'd have to decide. It'll be. I don't know what's happening. It'll either be next week or the week after. See how it goes.
Yeah, no problem. Just get John, or you can let us know, or John can let us know, and I'll do it. No
as soon
problem.
as possible. I don't know whether Shannon's going to get a computer back or whether she's buying another one, or I think because I thought computers were quite cheap in America. They're not. They're expensive everywhere. You know, that's the thing.
No, the only thing that's cheap in America is talk and life.
Yeah, that's true.
That's from that. So I hasten to add that's from their governments and the bloody arseholes at the top, because I feel sorry for the American who's being absolutely shafted like anything, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for everybody. Please see me back, or see us all back here next week. And actually, I hope we get Dave back next week, because that looks good. So would it be frequency next week? Or will it be 10-litre backpack next week? We'll have a. That is the story. That is the thriller. That's the cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's the cliffhanger.
We need a name for that stove.
You're gonna love the kit that's in the 10-litre backpack. I can assure you, it's hardcore.
Oh yes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Hang on, we got a last one from Gooner Mum here. It says, Dave, thank you once mentioned it. Sorry, I think you mentioned it, but if someone drones have overhead heat-seeking infrared stuff, if you're going wild, does covering oneself with full blankets work? No, it was that other thing, wasn't it, Dave? The
thermal cameras are fooled by the Mylar bags. I actually demonstrated one. Well, I showed one on a previous show. If you get in there, you've got no heat signature, therefore you become invisible to heat-seeking cameras like on the police helicopter and military helicopters.
Right.
Infrared IR equipment. You can get IR invisible backpacks and jackets and things, which are a lot of them are military issue. It depends on what sort of military issue it is. A lot of military issue are only visible at night with infrared. You know, obviously, if you shine a super bright torch on them, they're going to be bright. But it depends if you're trying to show yourself to friendly forces, which means you want to be visible to your high-tech army who's got infrared detection equipment, but you don't want to be visible to the enemy who might just be, squinting through the darkness with a tube of bamboo or whatever instead.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And I'll tell you something, you're going to show the best 10-litre backpack, and I will be showing the worst backpack. And I think Sebastian Moran knows about it because he got one as well. And it was Polish issue backpack. It looked good when you saw it on eBay, but when you bought it, to call it crap, it would have to improve to be crap. It was so bad. I mean, that is how bad it was. I've still got it for a laugh. But I'll show that to everybody. That's if it doesn't rip between getting it from the other room where I've got it to this room.
Nice one.
I think it was one of these, these new army things where they're going, well, hello. Yeah, it's for the Queen's. Yeah. Oh, what a lovely backpack.
Yeah. That'll be NATO troops.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, the
Yeah.
camo one. That's the one. The Polish
Yeah.
issue one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it for you, didn't I, Sebastian? And he's shit.
Yeah.
Shit. But the Polish, I don't know what the rest of their equipment's like. It's crap.
But the backpacks are crap.
Yeah, hang on. Here he says, it stank. Yeah,
Oh.
it went a bit, didn't
But
it? Anyway, thank you very much for coming on, everybody. And see you same time, same place next week. And remember, ding the little bell. And
Ding
please
it.
put your thumbs up. You know, the old
Give us a like.
give us a like. And hang on, we got another one here. What we got here? We got here. Look forward to seeing a 10-litre rucksack. Thank you, Dave. I love the heater. Great show again. Good night, Chris, Dave, Deb, and John. Oh, that's
Night,
lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good night, then.
What a lovely people we got in comments and chat and everything. And will it be the frequency show, the Lita show next week? That is the question.
Yes.
And whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh. So
Yeah.
good night and thank you.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Night all.
Bye.